No contact is often misunderstood. Many people think it's about punishing someone, or playing a game, or trying to make the other person come back. But real no contact is not about them. It's about you. It's about creating the emotional space necessary to heal from a connection that is keeping you stuck. Because when a relationship ends, especially one that was intense, inconsistent, or emotionally confusing, the attachment doesn't just disappear. Your mind continues to go back to the person. Your body remembers how it felt to be with them, and your nervous system may still be wired to seek them out for relief. This is why letting go can feel so difficult, not because you don't understand what happened, but because your system is still attached. No contact is what interrupts that attachment cycle. Every time you check their social media, respond to a message, or reopen communication, the emotional bond gets reinforced. Even small interactions can reactivate the attachment. It's not just about what is said, it's about what your body experiences. A message can create a surge of hope. A response can create relief. Silence can create anxiety. And this cycle keeps you emotionally tied to the person. No contact breaks that loop. It removes the constant triggers that keep your nervous system activated. It gives your mind a chance to slow down. And it gives your body a chance to begin regulating without depending on the other person. At first, this can feel very uncomfortable, because what you are really experiencing is withdrawal. When you are used to emotional highs and lows, your system becomes conditioned to that intensity. So when the connection is suddenly removed, it can feel empty, restless, even painful. This is why many people break no contact early, not because they made the wrong decision, but because the discomfort feels overwhelming. But that discomfort is part of the healing process. It is your system adjusting to the absence of something it became used to. If you stay in no contact long enough, something begins to shift. The intensity starts to decrease. The thoughts become less constant. The emotional charge begins to soften. Not because you forced yourself to forget, but because you stopped feeding the attachment. No contact also creates clarity. When you are in constant communication with someone, especially in an unstable dynamic, your perception can become distorted. You may focus on the good moments. You may minimize the hurt. You may hold on to potential instead of reality. Distance allows you to see the relationship more clearly. You begin to recognize patterns. What was consistent? What was missing? What you tolerated? What you ignored? And this clarity is essential for growth. Because healing is not just about moving on. It's about understanding why you stayed in something that hurt you. No contact gives you the space to turn your focus inward. Instead of analyzing their behavior, you begin to explore your own patterns. What were you seeking in that connection? What needs were being met? What were you hoping would change? And most importantly, what are you learning about yourself through this experience? This is where real transformation begins. Not in the relationship, but within you. No contact also helps rebuild your sense of self. In relationships where there is inconsistency or emotional instability, people often lose touch with themselves. Their mood becomes dependent on the other person. Their sense of worth becomes tied to how they are treated. Their focus shifts outward instead of inward. No contact allows you to slowly return to yourself, to reconnect with your own needs, your own values, your own emotional stability. It reminds you that your well-being does not depend on someone else's presence. Another important aspect of no contact is boundaries. Choosing no contact is an act of self-respect. It is a decision to protect your emotional space, not because you don't care, but because you care enough about yourself to stop engaging in something that is not healthy for you. And this is not always easy, especially when there are strong feelings involved, especially when part of you still hopes for reconciliation. But boundaries are not about what you feel. They are about what you choose. No contact also shifts the dynamic of control. When you remain emotionally engaged with someone who is inconsistent, your sense of stability becomes dependent on their behavior. When they reach out, you feel relief. When they pull away, you feel anxiety. This creates a cycle where your emotional state is constantly influenced by someone else. No contact interrupts that cycle. It brings the focus back to you, your healing, your choices, your life. Over time, this creates emotional independence, not in the sense of not needing anyone, but in the sense of not losing yourself in someone else. It is also important to understand that no contact is not always permanent. For some people, it is a temporary boundary to allow healing. For others, it becomes a long-term decision. What matters is the intention behind it. If no contact is used as a strategy to get someone back, it often keeps you emotionally attached. But when it is used as a tool for healing, it creates real change. Because the goal is not to make them return. The goal is to help you detach, to help you regain clarity, to help you rebuild your sense of self, and to help you move forward in a healthier way. There may be moments when you feel the urge to reach out, moments when you miss them, moments when you question your decision. This is normal. It does not mean you are going backwards. It means you are processing. In those moments, it can be helpful to remind yourself why you chose no contact in the first place, not based on emotion, but based on reality. What was the dynamic? How did it make you feel? What patterns were present? Because healing requires remembering the truth, not just the feelings. Over time, no contact becomes less about resisting the urge to reach out and more about not feeling the need to. And that is when you know something has changed. Not because the other person changed, but because you did. You no longer seek them for validation. You no longer depend on them for emotional regulation. You no longer feel pulled back into the same cycle. No contact is not about rejection. It is about redirection. Redirecting your energy away from what is draining you and toward what supports your growth. It is about choosing long-term healing over short-term relief. And that choice, repeated over time, is what creates real transformation. If you're going through no contact right now and it feels challenging and overwhelming, I created a 30 days no contact transformation journal to support you through it. It's designed to help you process your emotions and stay consistent in your healing. It has daily journaling prompts with a specific focus each day, as well as nurturing meditations, designed to help you heal and grow through the process. The link is in the description and in the comments.